Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2015 North American International Auto Show. We are coming to you live from Cobo Hall in Detroit, Michigan at the Hyundai booth, and we are just moments away from our press conference. We've got a lot of exciting news to deliver to you. We've got everything from the Hyundai Sonata Hybrid news. We also have the plug-in hybrid news to talk about, and there's something right here behind me. We're going to reveal it in just a few minutes, but we want to thank the thousands of you that are joining me here today. I'm Kristen Burt, and we're going to have so much fun. We've already had thousands of questions coming in, and we're going to be answering some of them live here on the broadcast. We'll have some of the executives and designers here as well, doing a little Q&A after the press conference. We just want to remind you, if you want to ask questions, you'll see that the question bar is to the left of your screen. If you're looking for more information from the Hyundai Newsroom, that button is just below your screen. And then at the end of the broadcast, we're going to have a survey, and we'd love to hear your feedback, what you loved about the broadcast, what would you like for us to improve for next time. We want all those comments, questions, and thoughts for the next time around. So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to kick this off by bringing in Jim Trainer. Come on in, bring him on over. He's the Senior Group Manager of Product Public Relations. Jim, thank you for joining us.
We're ready to go, 3 minutes.
3 minutes to go. Give us a little sneak peek of what we're going to see.
Well, three things. One behind us, super secret reveal, so about 15 minutes you'll see what all the excitement's about. And our first plug-in Sonata and the new Sonata Hybrid as well, so 3 big events.
And how big is this for Hyundai? Because I know you guys, it's been a lot of secrecy around here at the show.
Yeah, a lot of, it's gotten to be pretty popular to sneak, little tail lamps or silhouettes. We've gone old school with this, and we're keeping it a big secret. There's been a lot of conjecture on what's underneath there. I think it's surprised a lot of people.
I think it will too. And how did you keep the secret? Because it's not easy to do with social media these days.
Yeah, you're right. In this social world, I think we've kept it pretty well. There's some folks who have guessed. There's some people who have guessed wrong. So we've had a cloak of secrecy around this. This is still the most important car show in the world. So we wanted to do something very special. I got to run.
Got to run. Go out there. Enjoy the press conference. Thanks, Jim. So as you can see, a lot of secrecy around what is coming in just a few moments, but we're very excited, and we know a lot of you are excited. I've got the press all around me, too. They're in front of me. They're to the left as well. So they are very, very excited as to what is happening here today. Now remember, Hyundai has had an excellent year. 2014 was another record-breaking volume year for them. That's the 5th in a row. So we'll be interested to hear what President and CEO Dave Zukowski has to say about the projected future, not only 2015, but beyond that for Hyundai. Lots of excitement with the company, and the product line is growing, and we're going to be able to share some of that with you. Now again, what is behind there? Well, actually, I've seen it, and I think everyone's going to be quite excited, but I've had people trying to ask me, you know what it is, tell us what it is, and I'm like, I am sworn to secrecy. So I think Hyundai has done a fantastic job about keeping everything quiet, keeping it private, keeping it away from the prying eyes of social media. Now, just a reminder, after the post-show, which will follow immediately after the press conference, we will have President and CEO Dave Zukowski here with us. He's going to answer some questions, and then we'll also take some of your questions that you've submitted, not only before the show, but during the show, about the product line. We'll talk to some of the designers and hear what type of thought went into the structure and the engineering of the vehicle. So I think it'll be quite exciting for you guys. And also remember, if you want any of those press materials, they're available in the Hyundai Newsroom area. You'll see that button right below your screen. And then again, the survey. The survey happens after the post-show. It'll pop up on your screen. We would love your feedback because we love doing these shows for you, but we want to make sure that we're making and answering all your questions and your needs. So definitely give us your feedback for all of that. We are only moments away from the broadcast. You take a look, we're down to the clock. Let's see, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President and CEO of Hyundai Motor America, Dave Zukowski.
This is the place where our industry really kicks off the new year and truly provides a glimpse of our immediate product destiny. Today, we're taking a two-pronged approach, touching on both the practical and the passionate. We're going to introduce you to some amazing technology that will be arriving in the very near term. We'll also reveal the kind of daring and provocative product innovation that Hyundai has become known for. Before we go on, however, it's my great pleasure to introduce our Vice Chairman of Hyundai Motor Company, Mr. Yu-Sung Chung. Great to see you.
Thank you, Dave.
Also here today is the Hyundai Motor Company President and Head of Design, Mr. Peter Schreier. And also Vice Chairman of R&D, Dr. Woong-Chul Yang. Before we talk about 2015 and beyond, let's first take a brief look backward at how our 2014 operating results looked. We entered 2014, we finished 2014 by setting our 5th consecutive all-time volume record with 725,000, 718,000 annual sales. That's about up 1% versus 2013, but we fell, frankly, quite short of what our expectations were for the year, and we didn't keep pace with the industry's growth, which had an overall 5% increase. The headwinds we experienced were not a surprise to us, and we really were dealing with a function of adverse product mix. Within that 5% total industry growth that I talked about, car segments were essentially flat on a year-over-year basis, while truck segments experienced a booming 10% increase. So simply stated, we are a car-centric brand that is competing in an industry that is effectively comprised of nearly 55% truck segment buyers. And those segments, those truck segments, accounted for about 95% of the entire industry's growth in 2014. And that growth was being driven not by conventional pickups as it has been in the past, but it came from the booming CUV category. So we clearly understand what happened in 2014, and more importantly, what needs to be done in 2015 to better keep pace with this industry growth. We must secure a greater share of the global production for our existing crossover products, which, by the way, are performing exceptionally well. And we also have to move very quickly to develop new entries for emerging truck segments. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll give you a sneak peek at one of those emerging truck segments with a design concept that represents a fresh, new direction, not just for us, but we think for the entire industry as well. We're also very excited to share some more immediate product news with 2 vehicles that represent the 4th and 5th installments in our aggressive 12-vehicle launch cadence that's going to take place over just a 36-month period. Today, we'll introduce you to the all-new 2016 Sonata Hybrid and to our first ever Sonata Plug-in Hybrid. But first, let's begin with a more global perspective about our future. And please welcome Vice Chairman Chung to give you a little perspective about Hyundai. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in Detroit. It's a great honor to be here in the Motor City. The U.S. auto market holds a very special place in our hearts. This is the country that challenged us to push harder, setting higher standards for ourselves and giving us the confidence to expand worldwide. It is a country in which we have also made and will continue to make substantial investments, including our Alabama plant, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. I'd like to personally thank the state of Alabama, our employees, dealers, and most of all, our customers. The resurgence of the U.S. economy over the last 2 years has been essential to the continued expansion of the global auto market and the Hyundai's growth. I highly respect the extraordinary strength shown by Americans and firmly believe the US market will continue to play a leading role in the global economy. Hyundai Motor will also seek ways to make an even greater contribution to this economy. It is only natural that we look to the American customer as we pursue new segments and new technologies. So today, we have some exciting innovations we are unveiling for the first time. But more importantly, I'd like to explain how we plan to deliver more value to our customers. It was right here in Detroit where I first announced our modern premium brand direction, which is based on the idea of offering premium values in our volume segments. That announcement was exciting new beginning for us as we embarked on a bold new direction for our products, service, and it's a way in which we communicated with our customers. The industry-wide recognition we received as a result of these new initiatives is precious to us as a testament to all the things we are doing right in this important market. Fueled by this support from the industry, media, and customers worldwide, earlier this month, we announced our boldest global annual sales target yet, more than 5 million units worldwide. Our US operations will play a central role in these objectives. For starters, we are developing a broad range of powertrain platforms that will allow our customers to choose the technologies that work best for their needs and to make eco-friendly vehicle more mainstream. You may recall that Hyundai was the first automaker to bring the fuel cell EV to market with our first customer delivery made right here in the US. Just last month, our fuel cell powertrain was awarded as one of the world's 10 best engines. The fact that our zero-emission powertrain was chosen side by side with conventional combustion engines was a greater achievement for us. These solid results have given us the confidence to accelerate our efforts in launching more inspiring products and technologies for our customers, while also advancing the efficiency of the traditional internal combustion engines. In fact, we are in the process of developing an entire fleet of next-generation powertrain to significantly increase our overall fuel efficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, we are committed to delivering cleaner, safer, and even more rewarding transportation method with the aim of reducing emissions for our future and our children's future. Beginning with our first ever plug-in vehicle, the Sonata Plug-in Hybrid. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vice President of Corporate and Product Planning, Mike O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we'd like to show you the latest examples of the commitment just made by Vice Chairman Chung to deliver cleaner and more rewarding transportation. While low fuel prices are the hot topic right now, we all recognize a long-term need for reduced CO2 emissions. We intend to lead the way in this more efficient future. We believe that only the marketplace can determine which technology will win, so we're developing advances on every front. This includes significant improvements made in gasoline, as well as diesel engines sold in other markets, in addition to a full range of alternative powertrains. These include the world's first mass-produced fuel cell electric vehicles, which we began leasing to retail customers in Southern California this past June, a future plug-in battery EV now in development, and the continued advance of our hybrid technology. In this newest phase of eco-vehicle development, we are changing the paradigm, creating vehicles that are as rewarding to drive as they are efficient. The all-new Sonata Hybrid reflects this new direction. Like the conventionally powered Sonata introduced last year in 3 variants, the new Sonata Hybrid is more refined, roomier, quieter, more luxurious than its predecessor, and its distinctive design sets it apart from gas-powered siblings while improving aerodynamics. In fact, our Sonata Hybrids now match the industry-leading Tesla Model S with a coefficient of drag of 0.24. The hybrid's unique design details include a larger, more aggressive front fascia with a deeper grille, a distinct rear bumper design, unique tail lamps, and eco-spoke alloy wheels. Enhancing the driver experience was another key objective. A hybrid should never be a compromise for enthusiasts. By utilizing a 6-speed automatic gearbox instead of a CVT type, we're able to deliver more engaging and responsive driving experience with seamless transitions between electric and gasoline modes. The all-new hybrid delivers on that goal while achieving even greater fuel efficiency than its predecessor. So how was this achieved? First, our new hybrid system features a more efficient and compact direct-injected 2-liter gasoline engine. While the gas engine is downsized, the electric motor now delivers more power, and the battery capacity has been increased by 13%. Together, the engine and motor deliver total output of 193 horsepower. These advances result in a 4 mpg improvement in fuel economy with an estimated highway mileage rating of 44 mpg. By packaging the battery pack beneath the cargo floor, the Sonata Hybrid is able to provide both class-leading passenger and class-leading cargo space, together with the flexibility of a 60/40 split-folding rear seat and the convenience of a flat cargo floor, which you won't find in other mid-size hybrids. Even bigger news is the vehicle you see right here, our first-ever Sonata Plug-in Hybrid. It employs an even larger 50-kilowatt electric motor. The larger electric motor allows you to accelerate without engaging the gasoline engine. With its class-leading battery capacity of 9.8 kilowatt hours, it can travel up to 22 miles entirely on battery power, the best all-electric driving range of mid-sized cars. In charge depleting mode, we expect to achieve a combined 93 mpg rating. The battery can be fully recharged in under 3 hours with level 2 charging. Hyundai's new plug-in technology helps our customers' pocketbooks in a couple of ways. First, with its class-leading driving range, owners will make it far fewer trips to the pump. Second, with its exceptional battery capacity, we expect the Sonata Plug-in Hybrid will qualify for a $4,919 federal tax credit, the highest in the category. A new BlueLink app, exclusively designed for plug-in hybrid owners, makes it easy to schedule charging during off-peak hours when electricity rates are typically at their lowest. It's just one of the ways this app brings additional value and ease of use to the plug-in hybrid experience. The plug-in hybrid will arrive in dealerships in late summer with sales focused on the West Coast and Northeastern markets. The non-plug-in Sonata Hybrid will go on sale all across the United States this spring. Pricing of both models will be announced closer to launch. Now, as Dave mentioned earlier, CUVs have become one of the largest categories in the industry. That's pretty remarkable since this vehicle class barely existed just 15 years ago. So why are CUVs so popular? With reduced weight and advanced engines, the fuel economy penalty for driving a crossover is small. They offer great value. They have tons of utility, and they look great. But despite their popularity, CUVs are not quite the perfect match for everyone. We found a sizable group of customers who are looking for something more. One thing they all have in common, they've literally sacrificed their vehicles to pursue their passions. They load them with things that have no business being inside a passenger compartment. Materials and tools for do-it-yourself projects, smelly and dirty sports gear, bikes, wetsuits, camping gear, you name it. This ends up wearing on the vehicle's interior, not to mention the impact of well-used sports gear on that new car smell. They've told us they wish there was a better way to separate the dirty from the clean, to securely carry their gear with them, and to occasionally carry large, bulky items without expensive racks and add-ons. And I'm sure you're thinking, Well, it's a pickup truck, right? But for a large group of people, the traditional pickup simply doesn't work. The average MSRP for a new pickup is almost $40,000, well out of reach for American households, for many American households. In fact, over 80% of shoppers do not even consider a pickup. So for the last few years, we have studied these customers in depth and worked with our Hyundai North American Design Group to develop a different solution to meet their needs. We're eager to show you the result. Its code name is HCD15, but we call it Hyundai Santa Cruz.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here to introduce the Santa Cruz crossover truck concept. It's a new interpretation of a truck for a new generation of buyers. When we look at the market, we see some fundamental changes happening. Millennials now represent the second largest population of car buyers, and women account for nearly 50% of light vehicle purchases. Urbanization is also a trend impacting the market, something that's very strong with young adults, meaning tighter parking on streets and in parking garages, and generally more congestion overall. Now, these changes aren't limited to one specific region. They're happening all over the US, including right here in Detroit, where the lofts surrounding us here at Cobo Hall are sold out. We call the people leading this shift urban adventurers. They have a different mindset. They're active socially and in their communities and bring a pioneering spirit to make their neighborhoods a better place to live and to work. Now, if you're like me and live in the suburbs, you might be surprised to find out what's happening downtown. For example, there's a growing urban farming movement in city centers all across the US where a new generation is rediscovering what locally grown seasonal food actually tastes like. They're finding lost treasures, furniture, classic architecture, and other items long forgotten. And they're eager to lend a hand in rebuilding their community, both physically and socially, to its former glory. When it comes to the weekend, they recharge with a variety of escapes out of the city to enjoy nature with their friends. So when we set out to design the Santa Cruz, we didn't want to cover the same ground or the same customer as traditional pickups. We focused on the needs of the urban adventurer. First and foremost is satisfying their desire for expression. And our designers certainly delivered, with a unique and bold design that's just plain cool. Now, of course, it has to be efficient. There's a choice of advanced powertrains, including an ultra-clean 2-liter turbo diesel, delivering 190 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque, capable of handling anything the urban adventurer throws at it, while achieving fuel economy in the high 30s. And it's small for a reason. Although it has 4 doors and room for 5, its footprint is similar to a small CUV, ideal for maneuvering in the city and grabbing that tight parking spot. It delivers all the attributes that make CUVs so attractive. But what sets Santa Cruz apart is its versatile cargo bed that provides a separate place for all of their stuff. And as we've discovered, that's a lot of stuff. So whether today's activity is pitching in on a community volunteer project or loading mountain bikes for a trip to the trails, all of their dirty, wet, sandy, and bulky gear stays in the back, separated from the passenger compartment. But Santa Cruz is not just about carrying stuff. It's ideal for passengers, too. So whether you're picking up friends and firewood for a trip to the lake or volunteering to coach your niece's soccer team, you have room for all of your gear and comfortable seating for 5. You can even give a lift home to the entire midfield. Right, girls? And with Hyundai's H-Track all-wheel drive, you'll have no trouble getting through the pass and up to the slopes for that snowboarding weekend with the crew. During the week, bring your gear along for that early morning workout or after-work hockey game. You can keep it securely locked in the back under the integrated, rigid tonneau cover. It not only keeps items safe and out of sight, but also keeps your vehicle from smelling like a locker room when it's time to hit the town. Come on, don't keep her waiting. By now, you've got the idea. Santa Cruz is the perfect vehicle for those that want the attributes of a CUV, but still have lots of things that belong back there. But there are occasional times that call for even more cargo room. And that's where Santa Cruz offers a few surprises. For example, there are multiple tie-down points, not just in the bed, but in the wheel wells. Perfect for a kayak or a stand-up paddleboard. An even bigger surprise, an innovative tailgate extension mechanism allows the bed length to be expanded when those just-in-case moments arise, like spotting that antique chest that's just perfect for reconditioning. When fully extended, Santa Cruz's bed length is similar to a mid-size pickup, providing the ability to carry much more than its diminutive size would suggest, because you never know what kind of treasure you might discover. The Hyundai Santa Cruz was designed to accommodate everything the urban adventurer's lifestyle calls for, nothing more and nothing less. Now, Santa Cruz isn't the first vehicle to blend truck bed functionality with passenger car features, but those past attempts were limited because they didn't deliver a clear customer value. Some had design issues, while others tried to attract truck buyers with products that really didn't measure up. Santa Cruz isn't trying to be an alternative to a truck. So max towing, payload, and ground clearance aren't the point at all. There are plenty of excellent pickups on the market for customers who need that type of capability, and we've seen even more examples unveiled here today. But the research tells us that not everyone that needs an open bed wants that capability or the trade-offs that come with it. In fact, pickup share is down over 5% in the last 10 years, with the biggest shift among young adults. Years ago, when small trucks accounted for half of pickup sales, they were very popular with young buyers. Today, that young truck market is almost non-existent. Buyers under 30 represent just 7% of pickup purchases. And women, who buy nearly half of all CUVs sold, account for only 10% of pickup sales. So clearly, there are customers out there that the current market is not serving. Santa Cruz is intended for the growing population who sees and pursues the world differently. People who love the attributes of a small CUV, but value the versatility an open bed provides. It's a vehicle for the next frontier and for the urban adventurers who are leading the way. And we intend to be right there with them. Now, for a few final words, here's Dave.
Thank you, Mark. Wow, that is really, really exciting news. The Santa Cruz is one of the most researched concepts that we've ever done. And there is a substantial group of consumers out there who are extremely interested in seeing us actually build this vehicle. And it's not just those Gen Yers that we're constantly talking about. Think about how many people make a compromised vehicle selection decision based on the 5 to 10% of the time that they might need the functionality of a pickup truck. Santa Cruz is a vehicle that can quickly adapt to those 10% just-in-casers without compromising 5-passenger seating comfort, easy parking, and great fuel efficiency for the other 90% of the ownership experience. Not to mention the incredible styling statement that this vehicle makes. It may not be the vehicle that the industry expects, but it's most certainly the vehicle that these buyers want and demand. And that's really what we're all about at Hyundai. We pride ourselves on listening intently to consumers' needs and then figuring out a way to meet those expectations. We're not interested in plowing the same old ground that everybody else is. We want to challenge conventional thinking and help pave the way to a future that better meets the evolving needs of these new consumers. And we strongly believe that future includes segment-defining Santa Cruz concept. Right now, I'd like to welcome back to the stage our panel of experts. Our product development team is represented by Mike and Mark. And you can also talk to Chris Chapman and his design team who are behind this fantastic Santa Cruz. Before we scatter, though, a brief reminder that we'd love to continue this dialogue later this evening at our annual gathering at Slow's Barbecue. All the media are welcome. I've actually pulled bartender duty for the night, so your tips will be greatly appreciated because every penny will be directly donated to our favorite Hope on Wheels initiative, which is funding research for finding a cure for pediatric cancer. We look forward to seeing you there. Now, please come join us on stage and take a closer look at Santa Cruz and the Sonata Plug-in Hybrid. Thank you again for taking the time to be with us this afternoon.
All right, we are back with Hyundai Live Connect. As you just heard it, President and CEO Dave Zukowski gave the big news, and we saw some of the other designers talking about the new Hyundai Santa Cruz. What do you think? It's pretty exciting news being able to do the crossover utility vehicle, and there's a huge market that they're looking to tap into. We also saw this exciting news with Blue Drive, which is the Sonata Hybrid, as well as the Sonata Hybrid Plug-in. This is going to be a really big strategy for them to expand also their hybrid line. Now, as you can see, the media is behind me. They're getting into the vehicle. They're checking it out. They are taking those photos. I know a lot of people were already on social media talking about it. We will have some of the executives as well as the design team who will be talking to us. We'll be interviewing with them. We'll be answering some of your questions, but we'll also get the inside scoop about everything that you just saw here today. As you can see, it is live, and we are at North American International Auto Show, so I'm going to get jostled a little bit here, but it's going to be fun, and it's going to be live, and we're going to have a blast with that. If you do want to ask questions, just a reminder that you will see to the left of the screen, that is where you can enter questions, and we're taking a whole bunch of them. We had over 3,000 come in before the broadcast even began. Other things that will be happening are a survey, which we'll be doing after the broadcast. You'll see that right below the screen, and that will pop up, and you can give us feedback about what's happening and some ideas for the next broadcast. The one other thing that we do have is our newsroom. If you want the up-to-date press kit, that is available at Hyundai Newsroom. All right. Barry Ratzlaff, you are right in front of the camera, Gary. All right. This is what we do when we're live. Barry Ratzlaff, good to see you.
Oh, nice to see you as well.
All right. Tell us, your thoughts on the press conference.
Yeah, so really excited. I'm responsible for Blue Link. So you saw with the plug-in hybrid, we were talking about expanding the Blue Link app to allow our customers with a plug-in Sonata Hybrid to set the charge time for their car. Right, this way they can take advantage of understanding when their utility company has the cheapest electricity and time to charge their car when the electricity is the cheapest. That's just one of the great stories we have here. What do you think of the Santa Cruz? Isn't that cool?
It's huge. I mean, that's huge news. I got to see it yesterday, by the way.
Yeah.
But I was kind of happy about that. But let's go back to Blue Link and talk about that app, because this vehicle is all about technology. It's all about fuel economy, because you're all running off of electric. But, we've got so many questions about this, and people are really excited to sort of step into the next generation of technology with Hyundai. How long did it take to develop the app?
You know, actually, it didn't take us very long because with Generation 2 BlueLink, we built this infrastructure that allows us to adapt to the market needs quickly when we have vehicle capability or customer demands. We can do things relatively quickly. A good example of that, just last week at CES, we revealed the BlueLink Android Wear smartwatch app, where you can use BlueLink and through voice or through touch, start your car from your smartwatch paired to an Android phone.
Yeah, I did see that smartwatch with the CES news, and I thought it was really exciting. Will we see that connected to the plug-in? Are you going to be able to do the same capabilities with the smartwatch?
Absolutely, absolutely. So even a cold weather environment or a warm weather environment to cool down your car. Now, of course, with a hybrid vehicle, if you're motivated to save energy, you might not want to do that as much as you would if you're just living in Detroit and it's really cold outside, right?
I would do it. I'd be the person that's like, it's cold, I need some heat, let's remote start that puppy.
I would too. Chris agrees with me.
I know, Chris was so excited. Yeah, that's Chris Chapman, chief designer, was so excited about BlueLink. He had to step into frame because he couldn't handle all the news.
He was just following Gary's lead because Gary stepped in front of the camera. Right.
But that's what happens when you're live. Well, we're so excited about the BlueLink news, and thanks for being here and giving us all the latest insight.
You bet. Thanks for the opportunity.
You bet. Thanks, Barry. Good to see you too. Chris, you are on deck. Chris Chapman, chief designer, Hyundai North America.
Video bombed him.
You video bombed.
Well, I heard it was your comment. Made me do it.
I know, it's all my fault. Let's start with the Santa Cruz because this is huge news. This must have been a hard one to keep a secret.
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime that the people want it, we have a big billboard in front of the Cobo Hall saying yes, 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 and it's been a long time coming. So I've been wanting personally to do one of these things for a really long time. So I'm really happy.
Design-wise, how long did it take?
We were been researching this thing for quite a long time, for many years, but actual executions probably in the last year.
And the big questions, because I saw tons of these questions coming in. It's when is going to go into production? How much is it going to cost? All of those things.
All the classic questions, right? Yeah. I mean, basically, we gauge enthusiasm, although it's pretty crowded up there on the stage right now, and that's sort of the classic answer or whatever. But, we like to say, what do you think?
Well, I have a comment. I can tell you what people think. It's Eric Hesser, and he said, build it, don't wait a second, build it now.
We build it now, all right. Well, then there you go, one person.
One person's telling you
enough.
That is enough. But
yeah.
You're saying, there's demand there. You guys did a lot of research about urban adventurers. We heard this quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at basically a fresh take on a classic concept, really, a known concept, but with a new customer and a new outlook on the customer out there. So there's a kind of duality, I would say, within this the mentality of this kind of person. So they're looking to have this versatility. They don't want to throw all their stuff inside the car, of course, as Mark mentioned. But we also want to have an interior and a car that can maneuver around the city. We can park it quite easily, but at the same time, in that spontaneous moment, we can throw something in the back that you pick up at the local antique store or the home improvement center, et cetera, et cetera. And we're just noticing that there's a need there that crosses over into that mentality. And we want to make sure that those customers are sort of like recognized and addressed, because they've certainly been out there, that we've been hearing, and we want to recognize that with a design that takes care of those attributes.
They're ready for the Santa Cruz, and I'm telling you right now, I'm hearing from Ken Taylor, he's like, what are the powertrain options? Look at all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, ready? Yeah, diesel, hybrid, gas, turbo.
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting. I mean, I'm particularly excited about the 2-liter turbo diesel in there. That's going to be really high output, high torque motor. This isn't about towing capability, though, either. This is about getting around, enough power, etc. But it's a unibody construction, so we're not talking about the classic pickup truck type of solution. And we noticed that was really, really, kind of important. The fuel efficiency is really important because we're looking at customers that are going to be commuting with this vehicle daily to work in the city, etc. So, we've got to address those issues. We've got to look at the tire size. We've got to look at all those things. But the 2-liter diesel is going to be really a kicker.
It's sweet. And let's talk about the design. You and I sat down yesterday, and we got into probably a 5-minute conversation about the grill. That hexagonal grill kind of has a new spin to it.
Well, we're looking to, carve out our little unique, spontaneous kind of niche in regards to facial identity. And we've got a hexagonal grill that's known the world over. But we're putting little curvatures, little sensual kind of cascade lines to the grill to give it that unique identity and try to set ourselves apart a little bit within the landscape of facial identity, really. So these little nuances are really special, and they're really important to trying to bring a kind of iconic feel and a kind of separation between us and the competition.
Well, I think you've done a great job, and yes, we're ready for it.
Yes, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris. Good to see you again. Okay. Thanks for video bombing, too. Just a reminder, we are still taking your questions. As you can see, they're handing them to me live on the air. We've got Mike O'Brien here, hot off the stage, Vice President of Corporate and Product Planning. Mike, good to see you again.
Good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You did a great presentation on the Sonata Hybrid and the plug-in, and I've had a ton of questions about it.
You do? Well, let's see what we can do about that.
All right, we'll just take some of the basics, because I knew that these were going to come in when it comes to the Sonata plug-in. And, charge time. People just want to know, how long is it going to take to charge?
Well, I mentioned in our speech earlier today, level 2 charging less than 3 hours, so between 2.5 and 3 hours. And level 2 means what you use to operate your dryer or your kitchen range. So everybody's home has 240 volts, and so you can add a level 2 charger in your garage or carport with no problem. So basically less than 3 hours is the answer to that question.
And the other big is how many miles per charge, and you guys have a class leader in this, correct?
Yes, for a mid-size category products, this car will go about 22 miles on a full charge, so that's usually good enough for most daily commutes.
You know what I really love? This is really a nice expansion of the Blue Drive that you're going to be doing. So talk about, you're sort of making this a sub-brand within Hyundai.
Well, we've come to the conclusion that we have to let our customers are going to choose what's right and what's not right for them. And so what we're trying to do is create a portfolio of eco-friendly products that can really address a very wide range of buyer needs. So we're going to have a pure EV. Of course, we have our fuel cell technology we're already selling today in our Tucson fuel cell. We're going to have the plug-in hybrid go on sale just in a few months. We're going to have the second generation of our Sonata hybrid come in just a couple of months. And so we're trying to offer a very wide portfolio of products to basically meet any customer's need.
There's a lot of competition out there in the hybrid market. Why Hyundai? Tell everyone.
Well, for us, it's all about class above value. So there's plenty of hybrid products that are compact class. But guess what? The number one selling category in the United States is a mid-sized car. That's the family car. Compacts are generally for couples and singles and empty nesters. So when you really want to cover the wide part of the market, you need to talk about the key segments, and mid-sized car is the key segment. So we're going to compete there where more customers reside, and it really will displace a gasoline vehicle more typically in their daily use.
And safety features, we have a lot of advanced safety features happening in the hybrid line, correct?
We have quite a bit coming. So a lot of the features you see on the Genesis today, just wait a few months and you'll see them coming down to our Sonata Hybrid and our Sonata Plug-in Hybrid.
And one other question that we got a lot of feedback from, the integration of Android on the autos. Could you talk a little bit about that?
I can. We're really excited about that. So we were probably, if not the leader, one of the first manufacturers to be working with both Apple and the Google folks to make sure that we were upfront and could achieve we'll probably be the first manufacturer of a scale or volume that will have Android in the market, and will be among the first for Apple. So with this technology, it allows a customer to seamlessly bring their phone experience in the car without driver distraction and the associated safety risks that go with that. So it allows you to get the phone experience right on your touchscreen or through voice commands that you experience already with your phone in the same fashion.
Well, fantastic, Mike. A lot of exciting news here at Hyundai. We appreciate it. Good seeing you, too. Thank you. There you go. As you can see, a lot of inside scoop not only on Blue Drive, but we also even mentioned fuel cell with the Tucson as well. So we want to thank you so much. We want to remind you about a couple things. If you need any of the press kit information, it is in our newsroom. That is just below the screen. We also have a survey, so we would love to hear from you as well. Give us the feedback, what you loved about the broadcast, what you'd like to improve, and we want to get that to you for our next big presentation, which will be happening sometime in 2015. Now, I know that a lot of those questions, hopefully we got them all answered, but remember that newsroom will offer you a lot of information that you may not have heard on the broadcast, or maybe you just want to